Well, it's time for our first team. So let's get to know cleanSpot from Spain, who is represented by Marcos Martinez. And the project is about boosting recycling because there is no planet B. We also will, after that, we will hear Fog2G and the Carbons, the other finalists in this section. But you've got a 7-minute pitch. Please, Marcos, take it away.
Many thanks. Good morning, everyone. Next slide, please. And next one.
Hi, I'm Marcos Martinez, and I represent cleanSpot, the app that helps to boost recycling through information, awareness raising, and gamification. And to show you how it works, I'm going to tell you a story.
One day, Estefania found that she had a lot of waste at home and things that she no longer used. She knew she shouldn't throw them away, but also she didn't know where to take them. So she came up with the idea of looking for an app to help her, and she installed cleanSpot. She found the closest recycling spots and pickup services in her area, where she could take the waste. She delivered her waste and gave points that allowed her to go up in the ranking and win prizes. And also, she calculated her contribution to the environment, and she felt good because she knew that there is no planet B. cleanSpot, boost recycling!
Next slide, please. And the next one. Did you know that each European produces at home about 500 kilograms of waste per year, but only the 40% of them are recycled or reused? This means that the 60% of the waste goes directly to the landfill. If we take a family with 4 members, the total amount of waste that is generated and not recycled by year is equivalent to the weight of a car. And if we extrapolate this number to a city like Malaga, which population is about 600,000 people, the total amount of waste that is not recycled is equivalent to, if we leave into the landfill, about 150,000 cars per year, producing obviously a great impact on the environment. Already, there is a European legislation that targets for recycling 65% of the municipal waste and reduce the landfill to a maximum of 10% by 2035. And here we think that the public administrations, mainly local authorities, have a key role to reach those objectives. And that's why we want to help them to get it. Our solution aims to encourage citizens to recycle and reuse. Next slide, please. But citizens, probably the first difficulty they may face is the lack of information. It could be very hard to find information about how, when, and where to recycle any waste we produce at home in our day-to-day life. And not only the common waste like plastic, glass, or paper, but also other kind of waste like batteries, mobile phones, used oil, consumer electronics, clothes, etc. Next slide, please. Because of that, the main functionality of cleanSpot is to facilitate information about recycling spots in your city. So the citizen just need to enter the city or use the current location, select the waste type, or take a photo to detect it. And then the map of the city is loaded with the nearest recycling spot and pickup services in the area. So they just need to select one of them to get all the information, for example, opening hours or material accepted. But also, the user can do several actions through the application. For example, call to the recycling center, open a website with more information, also calculate the route to know how to get there. For example, if the local council or the local waste management system have on the street several bins for collecting clothes, the user can notify of any issue related with that container, for example, if it is stuck or full. Next slide, please. But also, the local councils or local waste management services can send more information to citizens. For example, send alerts or reminders the day before, or the mobile recycling center in the neighborhood, or pickup services in the area. Or also can send awareness raising campaigns that are being carried out into the city, or tips relating with the recycling and reuse at home. Next slide. Another functionality of the application is the CO2 Calculator. It allows the user to calculate how much CO2 emissions avoid by recycling and reuse. This is a very important functionality because it allows the user to know, to be conscious about how much they can contribute to the environment conservation. Just to say one example, 6 kilograms of avoided CO2 emissions is equivalent to a car not circulating during 1 day. Next slide, please. But probably the second difficulty the citizens may face is the lack of motivation. Although they have all the information about how, when, and where to recycle, they are not really motivated to do it. And here is why we try to engage the citizens to recycling through the gamification. So just the idea is to allow them to accumulate rewards points, and every time they go to the recycling center, or use the pickup services, or drop the waste off into the specialized container. And then they can redeem these points by municipal taxes or vouchers to be used in local businesses, by local activities, or direct payment. Also, they can compete with other users through rankings and receive awards and recognition for being committed. At the end, the idea is to incentivize recycling. Next slide, please. And to carry out this gamification, we have the virtual card functionality. Basically, it's a QR code identifying the citizen into the app, and they have to wait for any rewards points. One of them is go directly to the recycling center, and there an authorized person assigns the points corresponding to the delivered waste, just scanning the QR code. And the second option is the user can go to a specialized container that can be placed on the street or inside a municipal building. This container is going to be identified by a QR code, and the user just needs to take a photo of the waste they are dropping off into the container, and then the verification system assigns the points corresponding to the waste. This system is based into image recognition, geolocation, and QR code scan. Next slide, please. Well, just to say that we have already more than 65,000 recycling spots registered in the app, and they are located in many cities throughout Europe, and the majority of them are coming from open data websites. Next slide. Just to finish, just to say that the application is already available, so you can download today from the different stores. So I hope you find it